It started with a scream so loud it could have cracked concrete. You ever hear something like that? Not just a, hey, stop kind of yell. I mean, a banshee wail that cuts through the noise, slices right into your bones, and makes every single person freeze mid-stride on a sleepy Saturday. Hey, you don't belong here, she shrieked, voice ragged and sharp. I'm talking about Karen, of course you know the type. Hair frazzled, eyes wild, clutching her HOA badge like it's a sheriff's star. People's heads snapped around so fast you'd think someone yelled free money. And in the middle of the sidewalk, some poor guy, just a regular dude, shopping bag dangling, tired look on his face, stood there, absolutely floored as Karen, fists clenched, grabbed a handful of his shirt and yanked him toward her like she was about to conduct a citizen's arrest on live TV. He choked out, "I can't breathe," barely louder than a whisper, looking more confused and scared, like he'd stepped onto the wrong stage at the wrong time. Karen didn't care. She had an audience, and she was performing, spit flying, face twisted up in rage, so cartoonish you almost wanted to laugh, except it wasn't funny. It was ugly, and the ugliness was catching, spreading fast. You could feel that charge in the air the way everyone's eyes darted, not sure whether to intervene or start recording. And you better believe the phones came out. Screens up, lenses pointed, everyone's suddenly a documentarian, filming every second. It's almost funny how fast folks will move when drama's on tap. The craziest part? The guy wasn't even doing anything wrong. Just a bag of groceries, a weary walk home. But in Karen's universe, that was enough wrong skin tone, wrong time of day, wrong look. She'd already decided he was the villain in her little HOA drama. The eggs hit first, that's what I remember. Groceries tumbling, oranges bouncing, carton of eggs splattering right there on the pavement. That pop, that sticky mess, it just made everything more real, like, yeah, this is really happening. The crowd pulled in tighter, some whispering, some looking away, a few brave ones stepping closer. One woman, shaking but fierce, shouted, "Let him go." And Karen, not missing a beat, shrieked, "Mind your own business," and yanked even harder, dragging him nose to nose, her face red with fury. Then the siren started. You know that moment when help is coming, but you're not sure if it's coming for the right person? That's how it felt. Karen froze, just for a split second, but she didn't let go. If anything, she clung tighter, shrieking about getting away, making it sound like she was saving the world from a grocery thief. Meanwhile, the man just stood there, weakly pushing at her arms, not even fighting back. He couldn't. The squad car skidded to a stop, doors flung open, two officers jumping out, all authority and urgency. "Ma'am, let him go." One barked, but Karen turned on them, voice cracking, "No. He attacked me first." And right then, the whole crowd erupted. You could hear the disbelief, the disgust, people pointing, shouting, waving their phones. "She's lying." She grabbed him. Cameras in the air like torches at a modern witch trial. And for a second you almost felt bad for Karen, except you really didn't. She finally let go, and the man collapsed to his knees, gasping for breath like he'd been underwater for hours. One cop knelt beside him, hand gentle on his back. "Are you okay? Can you breathe?" The other squared off with Karen, telling her to step back. But Karen was just getting started. She lunged forward, jabbing her finger at the man, yelling, "You're not listening. He's dangerous." Now the crowd shouting, a wave of outrage. "We saw everything. Check the videos." Here's where it gets good. The twist nobody saw coming. A kid, probably 17, steps forward, phone shaking in his hand. "I got it all," he says, voice barely holding steady. And right then, Karen starts to unravel. "You don't understand. He doesn't live here. He's trespassing. He looks suspicious." All those excuses she's practiced for years, falling flat against 100 witnesses and half a dozen videos. The cop holds up a hand. "Enough. Turn around." And for a heartbeat, nobody moves. Then, snap cuffs on Karen, her shriek going higher than you'd think humanly possible. "You're arresting the wrong person," she howls, but nobody's buying it. The crowd breaks into applause, relieved, vindicated, maybe a little vengeful. The man, still on the ground, finally finds his voice. I don't even know her. I was just going home. That truth, so simple and raw, ripples through everyone. Now, here comes the next twist. A woman in the crowd, voice trembling, calls out, "That's the same woman who harassed my delivery guy last week. Said he was stealing packages, but he was just doing his job." Suddenly, stories spill out. People nod, remember, share their own Karen encounters. Turns out, she's been running this same script for years, just never got caught in 4K with 100 bystanders. As the officers march her to the cruiser, she's kicking, screaming, "You'll regret this. I was protecting you." But the punchline? The officer picks up the man's phone from the pavement, sees the food delivery app still glowing on the screen. All he'd done was grab groceries and dinner for his sick mother. Karen's heroic act was just her lashing out at a guy trying to feed his family. That mood had shifted, from outrage to disgust to this cold, satisfied sense of justice. Karen in the back seat, still screaming, her world collapsing, every second caught on a dozen live streams. By nightfall, her name's trending, her face a meme, every social feed in the neighborhood buzzing. Imagine thinking you're the savior, only to find out you're the villain in everyone's group chat. The man, shaken but safe, sits on the curb, collar stretched, red marks clear as day on his neck. Someone hands him water. "You're safe now," they whisper. But safe doesn't mean whole. That sound of his choking, the crack of eggs on pavement, the roar of the crowd, it'll stick with people. That's trauma, right there, and no amount of viral justice can erase it. Karen's story? Oh, it didn't end in the back of that police car. Next HOA meeting, her seat's gone. Job? Gone by Monday. After her employer puts out a statement, "We do not condone this behavior." Viral video at 3 million views and counting. Sometimes karma doesn't knock, sometimes it kicks down the door with a badge and a GoPro. And the man? He gets a little bit of his voice back. Gives an interview, says, "I just want folks to know you can't treat people like this. We all deserve to walk home in peace." And that footage, it becomes more than just evidence. It's a wake-up call, a warning shot for every wannabe Karen out there thinking their voice is the law. So yeah, maybe next time someone like her starts screaming, grabbing, accusing, they'll think twice. Maybe they'll remember the day Karen got dragged off, red-faced, fighting a truth too big for her to bury. Maybe, just maybe, they'll keep their hands and their accusations to themselves. Because justice? It's messy, loud, and never comes quite the way you expect. But when it does, nobody forgets. And Karen? She'll remember. She'll remember the day she lost everything, not in secret, but with the whole world watching. And now I gotta ask, what would you have done? Was justice served, or did it go too far? Drop your thoughts, your stories, your take on what real accountability looks like. I want to hear from you, because in the end, that's how things really change.